Jey Uso in agony after brother Jimmy died in a tragic car accident. Good day, WWE Universe. What you're about to hear is not a storyline twist, not a shocking betrayal, and not some wild kayfabe drama from the bloodline. This is real, raw, and heartbreaking. The wrestling world is reeling after reports confirmed that Jimmy Uso, one half of the Usos and a cornerstone of WWE's modern era, has tragically passed away following a fatal car accident. And Jey Uso? He is shattered. The twin bond that powered one of WWE's most iconic tag teams has been broken in the cruelest way imaginable. Before we unpack this devastating story, make sure to subscribe to WWE Extreme and click that notification bell, because here we dive deep into the moments that shake the wrestling world, the stories that move us, and the legacies that will never fade. Now, let's get into it. This tragedy reportedly took place late last night, shortly after a WWE Live event in Pensacola, Florida, the Usos' hometown. According to early reports, Jimmy was driving home alone when his car veered off the road, collided with a guardrail, and flipped over. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but sadly, Jimmy was pronounced dead at the scene. The WWE locker room was reportedly informed during the early morning hours, and by sunrise, social media was flooded with messages of heartbreak. And perhaps the most painful reaction came from Jimmy's twin brother, Jey Uso, who posted a photo of them together as kids with the caption, "You were my first tag partner and my forever use. I do not know how to do this without you. If that has not hit you right in the heart, I do not know what will." Now, let's take a step back for a moment, because this is not just any WWE superstar we were talking about. Jimmy Uso was part of the DNA of this company's modern storytelling. Together with Jey, they transformed from bright, energetic rookies with face paint to one of the most dominant and beloved tag teams in WWE history. The Usos did not just perform, they defined an era. 7-time tag team champions, multiple match of the year contenders, and the heartbeat of the bloodline. Their chemistry was unmatched. Their promos were electric, and their connection with fans? Unbreakable. But what makes this tragedy even more gut-wrenching is that just days ago, Jimmy appeared on SmackDown in what would now be remembered as his final WWE appearance. He was his usual confident self, cracking jokes, hyping up the crowd, and teasing a possible reunion with Jey. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could have imagined that it would be the last time we would see him step foot inside a WWE arena. Transitioning into the locker room reaction, sources say the atmosphere backstage today was completely broken. Superstars were reportedly in tears during morning production meetings. Triple H was seen consoling Jey and other members of the Anoa'i family who rushed to Florida overnight. Roman Reigns, who is family to both Usos, has reportedly halted all appearances to spend time with them. When asked for comment, Roman simply said, "Family comes first. Always has. Always will." And that sums it up. The Usos were not just wrestlers. They were storytellers, brothers, and entertainers who blurred the line between family and legacy. Their journey began in 2010, but their peak came during the Bloodline saga, arguably the greatest modern WWE storyline. From turning on Roman Reigns, to main eventing pay-per-views, to splitting apart with emotional promos that gave us chills, these two gave us wrestling gold every single time. And that connection between them was real. You could feel it every time they stepped into the ring. Now imagine Jey waking up today, knowing that the other half of his soul, his tag partner, his twin brother, is gone. The kind of grief that brings is something that goes beyond wrestling. It is personal. It is life-altering. And according to reports, Jey has been inconsolable since the moment he received the news. WWE management has reportedly offered him an indefinite leave of absence to be with family and process his loss. And here's something that is both tragic and beautiful. WWE is already planning to honor Jimmy's memory on next week's episode of SmackDown. The company has begun preparing a video tribute that will include his greatest moments, from their debut to their WrestleMania main event appearances. Expect tears, chants, and an arena full of UCO ringing out one more time for Jimmy Uso. Fans are already organizing candlelight tributes outside arenas and even digital vigils online. The love is overwhelming. Transitioning now to the ripple effects. This loss is not just personal. It changes WWE's entire landscape. The Usos were a cornerstone of the bloodline, and their story with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa had layers still to unfold. Sources say creative plans for the bloodline were immediately scrapped this morning, and the focus has shifted entirely to honoring Jimmy's legacy and giving Jey whatever space he needs. Some insiders have already begun suggesting that WWE will induct the Usos into the Hall of Fame next year, and honestly, they have more than earned it. But let us take a moment to talk about legacy, because Jimmy Uso's is massive. The man was born into wrestling royalty, the son of Rikishi, cousin to The Rock and Roman Reigns, nephew of Umaga and Yokozuna. But he did not ride that family name. He built his own. Jimmy and Jey modernized tag team wrestling with swagger, storytelling, and that signature day one-ish energy. They were cool, confident, and authentic, never pretending to be anything they were not. And that authenticity is what made fans connect to them on such a deep level. And speaking of connection, tributes are pouring in from everywhere. John Cena posted, "The Usos reminded us that tag team wrestling is an art form." Jimmy's passion was unmatched. Becky Lynch shared, "I'll never forget the laughter, the joy, and the love Jimmy brought backstage every night." Even The Rock, who rarely comments on personal losses publicly, wrote, "Our family is heartbroken. Jimmy's light, laughter, and legacy will live forever. We love you, Yus." And let us not forget the fans. From the front row regulars who have watched the Usos grow since 2010, to the younger fans who chant along to Down since day one-ish, this loss feels personal. Jimmy was not just a performer. He was a part of people's childhoods, their memories, and their love for wrestling itself. Transitioning to Jey Uso's future, it is unclear when, or even if, he will return to the ring anytime soon. But one thing's for sure, when he does, that moment will be one of the most emotional returns in WWE history. Imagine that. The lights go out, the music hits, and Jey walks down that ramp alone, but you can feel Jimmy's presence with him. Goosebumps, right? That is the power of the Usos story. It is not just about wrestling moves. It is about heart, family, and legacy. And knowing Jey's strength. One day he will step back into that ring, not for fame, not for glory, but to honor his brother's memory. Because if we know anything about the Fatu family, it is that they do not quit. They rise, no matter how heavy the fall. WWE is reportedly planning a charity fund in Jimmy's honor, supporting road safety awareness and helping families affected by similar tragedies. A fitting tribute, given how much time wrestlers spend traveling on the road, their second home. To close, Jimmy Uso's passing is more than a loss for WWE. It is a loss for wrestling as a whole. He was a performer who embodied passion, brotherhood, and the spirit of family. His laughter, his energy, and his love for this business will echo through every arena for generations to come. So, to every fan watching, hug your loved ones, cheer your heroes, and never take tomorrow for granted. Because just like Jimmy Uso always said, we are down since day one, and we ride together till the end. Thank you all for watching WWE Extreme. Stay safe, stay strong, and keep chanting loud for the Usos who made us all believe in family. Rest in peace, Jimmy Uso, forever day one-ish.